What's happening? Why are we in the dark?
Well, I think we got eaten, so I'd say we're probably inside a stomach.
Really? I didn't expect that. What kind of animal was it?
I'm not sure, but it definitely didn't look like a dinosaur.
Today, let's go for a walk to discover giant creatures that once inhabited the Earth and are not dinosaurs.
Usually, if a 130-kilo guy says something, the 68-kilo guy listens. At the very least, Megatherium, a giant herbivorous cousin of the sloth, would have been heard in cathedral-like silence if it could speak. At 6 meters tall and 3 tons, it could have rivaled an elephant.
Megatherium most likely walked on the ground. Indeed, it's hard to imagine it moving from tree to tree like its cousin at the pace of a depressed tortoise. In addition to its extraordinary and enormous size, Megatherium had a thumb. Equipped with a gigantic claw, about 30 centimeters long, its claw was used for feeding and fending off predators. Among them was Smilodon. Better known as the saber-toothed tiger, this carnivore lived in America, and its famous 20-centimeter long canines would have made Dracula jealous. More imposing than the largest of today's lions or tigers, Smilodon could weigh half a ton, the weight of 4 teddy rhino, and eat up to 8 kilos of meat per day. It likely vanished 10,000 years ago, along with Megatherium. The causes were climate change and the scarcity of prey. It's not impossible that it crossed paths with, and to their great misfortune, some of the very first hominids. Come on, to cool off a bit, let's take a trip to the oceans to properly greet Megalodon, a species of shark that disappeared to the great delight of swimmers. I'm certain 16 million years ago it lived when Earth looked like this.
For the record, Megalodon's teeth have been known since ancient times, especially on the island of Malta, where the Romans who found them believed they were triangular stones that had fallen from the sky during lunar eclipses. Also in Malta, Christians in the Middle Ages thought they were petrified serpent tongues turned to stone by St. Paul during his shipwreck on the island.
It wasn't until the beginnings of modern paleontology that people understood what they were dealing with. And that thing was very, very big. Here is a megalodon tooth beside that of Carcharodontosaurus, a massive crocodilian larger than T-Rex, which we'll discuss in a future episode.
Notice how a tooth compares in size to a human hand. Don't put your fingers there, it's easy to get pinched. And then there's also this reconstruction of a jaw that's downright chilling. Such a monster could have swallowed a whole cow as an appetizer.
Back then, there were no cows. Also, why would a cow swim? Alright, I get it, I'm leaving.
To add to the horror, you should know that after careful calculations, Australian paleontologists concluded that a megalodon's bite exerted a pressure 6 to 10 times greater than that of a great white shark. Enough to cut a medium-sized whale in half.
So imagine a cow. Alright, fine, I'll go back out.
Here's a size comparison. Our friend, a whale shark in purple, a great white shark in green, and a human. The two species of Megalodon are in grey and red, and that's where you can see that Megalodon could have easily fed on great white sharks. So, not feeling so tough now, huh?
Megalodon eventually disappeared. It's partly because of its main advantage. Its size is its weakness. He was simply too big. During the Pliocene, the climate cooled and the ice caps grew huge, as seen in the image. Much of Europe was buried under thick ice, while Megalodon couldn't handle the cold. And the problem is, when you have an appetite like his and you eat whales for breakfast, suddenly switching to a diet of sardines is complicated.
If you like scares, some researchers believe Megalodon may not be completely extinct. I'm willing to bet these are the kind of people who never go swimming. As proof, they point to fishermen's testimonies and some enormous bite marks found on a few fishing boats. According to them, there are still a few lingering around Timor and Australia, but people always exaggerate a bit. That's fine, but I'm getting a bit freaked out. Let's get out of the water and check out the birds. Deinonythiadae, also called sus or moa, is a herbivorous bird.
Like a cow?
Could reach up to 3 meters in height and weigh 250 kilo, the weight of 2 teddy rhino. It was native to New Zealand and vanished around 1500 before Christ. When Maori hunters arrived, the moa moved in herds since they couldn't fly. They're too big, and on the other hand,
Yes, something seems odd in the photos. Did you notice it too? They lack wings. Imagine birds with no wings. They're the only known birds entirely wingless. That's not cool. Who is it? No arms? I'm going out again. I left the door open anyway.
By the way, the moa lived alongside Haast's eagles, huge birds with 3-meter wingspans that could eat small moa. By the way, Maori legends talk about giant birds that could even carry off humans, but that still didn't stop them from disappearing too with the arrival of hunters. Humans can be very ruthless when pushing others aside to take their place.
Let's stay with the birds a little longer, because the story of the moa is very similar to that of Epiornis maximus, the giant bird of Madagascar, also called the elephant bird. Although at 2 meters tall, they are smaller than the moa, the elephant birds are the largest birds that ever existed. They could weigh up to 500 kilos, the same as 4 teddy rainers.
The elephant bird species became extinct in the 16th century. Who's responsible? Well, once again, it's us. Their eggs must have been appetizing, reaching over 30 centimeters in diameter and holding 9 liters. Hey everyone, tell the neighborhood I brought an egg, let's make an omelette.
Invite Teddy too. Let's forget the birds and return further to the Eocene when Earth looked like this. At that time, Andrewsarchus was walking on solid ground.
He's going to stop bothering us with his cows.
This frightening creature appeared about 15 million years after the dinosaurs bowed out. Andrewsarchus is simply the largest terrestrial carnivorous mammal of all time. Its skull could be up to 1 meter long and 50 centimeters wide.
The beast itself, as long as a minibus, would be able to give a good beating to any predator today. The largest specimens may have weighed up to 2 tons, equal to 15 tedroners.
Andrewsarchus does things differently from others. With his build like a hyena on steroids and his tough wolf-like face, it's easy to imagine him as a very, very distant cousin of canines or, why not, felines. And no, none of that. Andrewsarchus is actually a true ungulate.
What?
A true ungulate?
Oh no, wow, he actually did it.
No, it's an ungulate like a sheep or a horse. That means its toes don't end in claws but in hooves. Which makes it a sort of mix between a huge wild boar and a carnivore. Personally, I still can't get used to it.
Well, I think I'm going to go back in the water after all. Considering what's waiting for me there, I'm going to make myself a little suit of hardened steel. Give me a week to recover from my emotions and I'll dive back in for another round.
Until then, close your eyes and click around a bit. There's a tiny chance you'll share the video and hit the thumbs up with your finger held high. And now, how do we get out?
Every digestive system has an entrance and exit.